Hello, welcome to the Accelerating Black Leadership and Entrepreneurship Info Session hosted by the African Diaspora Network in collaboration with the Silicon Valley Executive Center at Santa Clara University. As a reminder, this webinar is recorded. And to begin, I would like to introduce the founder and executive director of ADN, Almaz Negash.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Wonderful to have you with us. This is the second session of ABLE, second cohort, and we're very delighted that you are interested and you want to learn more about how you can join, what the program entails, and we're very happy that you are taking the time to do so. Let me just say at the outset, we are not here to solve all problems, but we can solve something together with you. And we can't also do this alone. We need all your help. Even if you don't qualify for this program this time, I bet you would qualify in the next time. And what can we do to help you qualify, get you ready for that third cohort? We're not stopping. One thing I believe in, I've said this over and over, is it's better to not start a program than to start and let it take it away from the community. And so we are determined to continue to work on this with our funders. And I want to give special thanks to our funders because none of these programs can happen on their own. We have our lead funder is Build.com. It's a fintech company based in Silicon Valley. Our seed funder is Silicon Valley Community Foundation. We have funding from KLA Foundation, the Santa Clara County, and the family of Renee and Joey's husband and wife, who very much are committed to this. And we have others who are supporting it on it as we go. So we do need the funding to get this going. But here is where I think you all will be able to help us out. If this program is not for you, and you happen to be an African living in Africa, we have the Builders of Africa's Future, which I'll ask Megan to share with you the program details so you can take a look at that and you can qualify for that and you can apply when we come out for it. If you're unable to make it this time, you can apply for ABLE next time. If you know anyone in your network who might be qualified for this program, please share them with the application so they can be a part of it. We need everyone's help to make a difference. Change don't happen in the vacuum. Change happens when we all come together. So I'm very grateful to all of you for being a part of this conversation today. I do wish you luck with all that you do. And I want to thank my team and our partner, Santa Clara University, especially Heather, who is just an incredible human being to work with. So you go through the program details with Deborah. And if there is anything that I can help with, I'll be available. But I want to wish you the best time, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you, Almaz. And Heather, would you like to kick off team introductions?
Sure. Thank you, Deborah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Heather Buffington Anderson, and I am the Program Director for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiatives at the Silicon Valley Executive Center at Santa Clara University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Hunsberger, and I'm a Program and Digital Media Manager of the African Diaspora Network.
And hello, my name is Deborah Passio, and I am the Entrepreneurship Programs Manager at African Diaspora Network. And I am going to go ahead and kick us off into what you're all here for, which is really a program overview on accelerating Black leadership and entrepreneurship. We're excited to have you. We are going to have an opportunity for question and answer later on. So feel free to utilize that Q&A button at the bottom of your screens. And you're also welcome to share any comments, insights, etc. in the chats. All right. So we are going to first dive in with a brief overview on both of the organizations before we talk a little bit about the program details. So African Diaspora Network, we are a Silicon Valley-based nonprofit organization with the goal of promoting entrepreneurship and economic development on the African continent, but also the communities where the diaspora lives. So really the goal for the organization is bringing together Africans, African diasporans, and friends of Africa to really mobilize the financial and intellectual resources. And this also encompasses the African-American community in the United States. As Almaz mentioned, we really started our enterprise accelerators with the Builders of Africa's Future program and modeled that using that template to create accelerating Black leadership and entrepreneurship. And Heather, to you.
Thanks, Deborah. So the Silicon Valley Executive Center is situated within the Levy School of Business at Santa Clara University. Santa Clara is a Jesuit institution and is really led by Ignatian values. And therefore, our Executive Center is very much in line with those Jesuit values. What makes our center distinctive from other executive education centers is that we are impact-based in all of our programming. Not only are we impact-based, we have a commitment to social justice that is a thread that runs through all of our programming. And we really speak to the needs of Silicon Valley. We respond to the Silicon Valley community. And our DEI portfolio that I direct is very much in line with our Jesuit values to promote social justice by growing communities that are devoted to better business practices, by driving authentic diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging across industries. Our Women's Corporate Board Readiness Program and our Black Corporate Board Readiness Program work to drive authenticity and diversity within corporate governance spaces. And we are extremely proud to partner with ADN and the ABLE program. And I'm really looking forward to speaking with you about the curriculum in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Heather. So all of you are here today to learn about ABLE, and ABLE stands for Accelerating Black Leadership and Entrepreneurship. This is an enterprise accelerator program really designed to strengthen, energize, and support startups and small businesses led by Black entrepreneurs in the United States. The goal of this program is really to identify stellar Black business leaders with impact-oriented solutions, both at the local community level, but also the national level. We're open to multiple sectors, but I will go through some of the more specific key eligibility criteria later in the presentation. But today, last year was the inaugural launch of the program where we had 16 entrepreneurs graduate. And I'm going to ask one of my colleagues, Megan, to play a little promo video to give you a taste of really our goals for the program. Thank you, Megan, for that beautiful video overview. That's our promo. It's also available on our website if you'd like to preview it again. And, one thing that we do want to emphasize is that this program clearly doesn't come out of a vacuum. We recognize that there has been a longstanding challenge, systemic barriers regarding the resources that Black entrepreneurs have had access to over the generations. Even to this day, only about 1% of Black-led startups receive VC funding. And our goal is to help bridge this opportunity gap. There's many ways that we address this, notably through our leadership and entrepreneurship training, which Heather will expand on, mentorship, network and community building, and also an opportunity to really pitch your venture to venture capitalists and impact investors. And ongoing is our commitment to really amplify your organization. We recognize it's not a gap in talent. Sometimes it's a visibility gap. And we really seek to make sure that your venture is known through marketing, social media, our newsletter, etc. In our first cohort, I did mention that we had 16 entrepreneurs graduate, and these are their names, their organizations. And to give you a sense of their composition of the first cohort, we had a wide array of sectors, everything from artificial intelligence to digital health to marketing and events, with hometowns ranging from here in Silicon Valley to the Midwest and the East Coast. We do love this geographic distribution because I know the cohort, they like the cross-pollination is what they called it. Learning from people of different backgrounds, different areas of the US, but also different sectors. Two quotes that I'd like to share with you from our graduates. Dr. Nehemiah Mabry shared, "It is showing me how to craft my business into a form that is taken more seriously and highly fundable." He leads STEM media in the field of education. And another one of our graduates, Casey Stokes, CEO and founder of WonderGrub, shared with us, "Being a member of the inaugural ABLE cohort was serendipitous. The program surfaced at a time we were evaluating how we could become more impactful domestically and more intentional globally as a company. From reading materials, workshops, and live exercises to mentoring one-on-ones and peer exchange, we gained invaluable experience and gleaned vital expertise on how to pivot our business for success. Our company being selected as the 2022 backed Techstar Social Impact Accelerator was evidence of the effect the program had on WonderGrubs." So we've seen how this program really has helped some of our entrepreneurs take their businesses to the next level. And the question is, how do we do that? So I'd love for my team member, Heather, to share a bit more about the curriculum and what the training looks like.
Thanks so much, Deborah. So our curriculum is scaffolded to really help prepare you for the capstone event, which is the pitch session, where you will pitch to venture capitalists, impact investors, and foundations. So the curriculum provides the structure for you to take care of every aspect of your pitch, but also to understand your business, how to move your business forward in meaningful ways. We start off with a module on what it means to be investment ready. This is a great starting point to understand the types of funding and the investor landscape, as well as discuss funding stages and cap tables, financial modeling, and as well as thinking about the resources for Black-owned ventures. We move from there into the investor mindset. This is a great space where we see a lot of the entrepreneurs really connecting and relating to the lived experience of being an entrepreneur, which can be a lonely endeavor, and thinking about what is the investor mindset. So considering both sides of the equation there. In this module, we highlight the timing and attracting and managing capital, the investor perspectives and diligence processes. And from there, we really will move into a multiple module series to think about your pitch. Chris Lipp is a fantastic professor at Santa Clara University, and he delivers the Startup Pitch and Magnetic Persuasion module. Here he shares formatting, structures, techniques for successful pitches. Not only the pitch, but thinking about how to shape and design your deck, how to really land the timing, and also discussing the do's and don'ts of pitching. From there, we lead into leading venture teams. This is an important module to consider the challenges and opportunities to bring your team into alignment and promote coordination, understand best practices in crafting a vision for your venture's future. And this is a module where there's a lot of interaction between entrepreneurs to share strategies that have worked and think about that across industries. And we've seen a lot of success with that from our inaugural cohort. From there, the legal considerations and venture strategy and ecosystem building modules are really crucial to thinking about taking the aperture out and thinking of your business from a wider lens. All of these modules lead up to the pitch session preparation, where we run through your pitches. We have mentors there, as well as our facilitators and faculty members that help run through all aspects of your pitch, whether it's timing, adjusting a slide in your deck, thinking about, even down to hand gestures, how your tone and cadence changes. So we really work with you to make sure that all of the nuts and bolts are there and help you have a successful pitch to venture capitalists, impact investors, and foundations. Thanks, Deborah. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. One of the ways that we help to support this robust curriculum is that we provide ongoing network building forums. These are events that we organize that really bring in seasoned industry experts, some of whom come from the VC space, some people who are investors, impact investors. And really the goal is for the participants to have a chance to meet these individuals and hear their perspectives firsthand before they go into a pitch session with a live audience. So we have about 2 of these per cohort, and we also provide mentorship pairs and a mentor pool. I think this is one of the great aspects of our model. It's fantastic to have the mentees, the participants of the program, share with us what areas of support are you looking for? Is it legal? Is it marketing? Is it operational? Is it with, building out your team? We like to provide a direct mentor pair, someone who, has that area of expertise. It might not be a perfect sector, but they definitely are able to support in that specified area. But we understand that challenges can be varied. And so we have a mentor pool of experts. These individuals are available on an as-needed basis. You're able to connect with them in case you might need support in something that's outside of the area of your expertise of your direct mentor. And we also, to close it out, of course, this is really the big event. We have the pitch session and program graduation, and this will be hosted at Santa Clara University. Heather, would you like to speak more on what this will look like?
Sure. The pitch session will take place on campus. It will be a hybrid event, so we will have attendees on campus with you as you pitch to investors and companies, but we'll also have an audience virtually. We've learned through COVID that the power of connection can amplify as you are connected digitally. And so this hybrid event will allow you to connect with investors across the United States rather than just focusing in Silicon Valley. In the pitch sessions, entrepreneurs will have pitches back to back within 2 sessions, and then followed by some discussion with investors where they can have the opportunity to ask you questions about your business. And this is really a great moment to not only have access to capital, but to expand your networks. Really, what is crucial to all of the programming we do within the DEI space at Silicon Valley Executive Center is to close the networking gap. By closing the networking gap, then we are making connections that can increase the access to capital. So the pitch sessions are designed to really allow you to build on your network and to find funding opportunities for you in the near and far future.
Thank you, Heather. And of course, we're having this info session because applications are open. A little bit of background. So to summarize, this is going to be an 8 to 10 week training from October to December 2022. And the in-person pitch session will happen in January 2023. The second cohort will serve 10 entrepreneurs, and we are looking for those entrepreneurs to be either the seed or the Series A stage. We're welcoming applications from all industries, but we do have a preference for those with some kind of impact, whether that's in your local community or whether, you as an organization are employing more people, you need to be able to explain and demonstrate that to us in your application. And priority will be for those in the health and wellness, healthcare, education, and fintech/financial services. But if you do not fall within those categories, you are still welcome to apply. That just means priority. It doesn't mean it's exclusive to those sectors. Applications are due by Sunday, August 28th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. And just to sort of drill home a few eligibility criteria components, the person who participates in the program You should be either a founder or executive of a scalable for-profit startup. We are looking for the company to be either led or co-led by Black entrepreneurs. The company, as I mentioned, should be early stage revenue generating between seed to Series A. Yes, you must be headquartered in the United States. Just to emphasize what Almas had said earlier, if you are an African entrepreneur, we do have our Builders of Africa's Future program. That application will open later down the line in the late fall. And we would like for your organization, your venture, to have been a legally established entity in operation for 6 months or more. So those are some of really the key eligibility criteria. There are other components of the application, such as financial sustainability, scalability, quantifiable impact. Those are things that we would like you to be able to demonstrate in your application. And for our timeline, I did mention the deadline. And if you're wondering what happens after that, September is fully dedicated to our vetting process. We are really proud to have a program advisory committee that will be dedicated to reviewing applications internally, and we'll be offering interviews sometime towards the end of September. So by early October, we will be sending out formal announcements of the cohorts, and the training will then formally begin in mid-October, leading up to that pitch session in January.
So just to kind of wrap up the summary of the program benefits, this is a wonderful opportunity. The ABLE program is distinct from several other accelerator programs in that you have a lot of connectivity to the ABLE community throughout the program and beyond. So the first benefit is to participate in the in-person pitch session in Silicon Valley. This will take place in January of 2023. The program also is structured as a fully paid leadership and entrepreneurship training. Throughout the program, you'll have regular virtual mentor meetings. We're very intentional with the mentor matching, the one-to-one mentor matching. And this is a great opportunity for you to develop a lifelong mentor who will see the success that you encounter throughout your business. The mentor is there to help you with the curriculum content if there's anything that you're trying to work through, but they also really solve specific challenges that are facing enterprises, industries, and you, again, as Deborah mentioned, have the mentor pool to rely on as well. If there's something that comes up where you have an HR need or a legal challenge, that pool is there to assist you. At the culmination of the program where we have the pitch session, the program ends with a ceremony to receive your certificate through the Silicon Valley Executive Center. And ABLE through ADN is providing a modest stipend upon program completion, ensuring that you've gone through all stages of the program that will be awarded to the 10 participants. There's also an opportunity to participate in exclusive networking building forums. These happen throughout the program duration. And you also can connect with venture capitalists, angel, and impact investors, not just within the pitch session, but there are opportunities to make those connections throughout the program. Finally, the invitation is extended to participants and the entrepreneurs who've completed the program to join the African Diaspora Investment Symposium, which takes place March 22nd through the 24th next year. So I'll turn it back over to you, Deborah.
Thank you, Heather. So just a note on African Diaspora Investment Symposium, my colleague Megan will be releasing more information on that sometime in September. So we do hope that you follow us on the ADN newsletter to stay up to date. That is really our premier conference. So just sort of closing, wrapping up, we would like to give a big shout out, a thank you to our sponsors, many of whom have made this opportunity possible for all of those interested in applying for our participants in the first year. This includes Bill.com, Renee Lister and Joyce Chung, the County of Santa Clara, the California Black Freedom Fund, KLA Foundation, and recently Goldman Sachs. And we would also like to thank our ecosystem, our Enterprise Trainer Silicon Valley Executive Center, along with some of our ecosystem partners, meaning these are organizations that have dedicated time to really amplifying and nominating participants, everyone from Stanford Seed to Plug and Play to Bolster to Valence. And If you yourself are not necessarily an entrepreneur who is interested in applying as a participant, but you're here because you want to spread the word, or you're here because you want to find other ways to get involved, we do have a number of opportunities to be a part of the ecosystem. So be a mentor, meaning you can be a part of the mentor pair or the mentor pool. You could be a reviewer, meaning right now we are recruiting for people who may be interested in participating in the due diligence and evaluation process, really people who are very seasoned in their career and can help vet early stage entrepreneurs. We also look for speakers at our network building events. You can also help to amplify this. This is really one of those low touch areas. Be a nominator, share this with people. And you can also provide pro bono services if you are in an organization that can do that, whether that's legal and accounting advice or marketing and design advice. And we are continuing to look for supporters of the ABLE program as funders. So to reiterate, applications are due by Sunday, August 28th at 11:59 p.m. And the link is here and on our website. And at this point, we would like to open up our Q&A. I know we have received a few questions. And I'm going to invite all of our team members back to the webinar stage, and we can get started with some of the ones that we have received.
Great. So I see that Almaz has answered several of the questions that have come in already. But just to reiterate, the pitch session is in January. It's January 19th on the Santa Clara University campus. And Deborah, we've also had a few questions about the stage of entrepreneurship businesses that can apply. So we've had the question of the program is looking for revenue generating startups. So individuals at the design stage are not quite eligible for this cohort. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We would like the company to be revenue generating, have some sort of traction, and evidence of that would include everything from, revenue, having some kind of market that you're reaching out to. So we're not looking for ideas or prototypes. You do have to be at the seed to Series A stage.
Great. And Yvonne is asking, how can I become a trainer or a speaker for the cohort?
That's a great question. So feel free to reach out. We have our contact information here, my email as well as Heather's. Share with us, a little bit of information about yourself. We are continuing to design the network building forums. So if we find a correct opportunity where you're able to plug in your expertise, we're happy to have you. So feel free to email us, share a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
And then we had a question about the frequency of cohorts, and Almaz answered that. Just in case you're on a mobile device and you're not able to see the chat very easily, there are 2 cohorts that will run annually for the ABLE program. And then Deborah, a few other questions. Let's see, are nonprofits eligible for the program?
So that's a great question. For our first cohort, we did have a mix of nonprofit and for-profit organizations. However, the feedback that we did hear from cohort 1 was that it would be great to see what it would look like for the program to have very focused curriculum, since those are very different financial models. So for cohort 2, we are focusing on for-profit organizations. So unfortunately, we will not be accepting nonprofit applicants at this time.
Great. And then when will the next cohort be in terms of scheduling? Deborah, can you speak to that?
That's great. So the cohort will definitely be sometime in mid-2023 would be our goal. We recognize African Diaspora Network, we really take our feedback process seriously. So for example, in designing cohort 2, we did have to pause and have time for our teams to plan internally. Cohort 2 will end in January for the pitch session. In February, we do take some time to create an impact report to share with you all. And then depending on how long the feedback process takes, we may have another application open sometime in the spring, but we will keep you posted. Once again, please subscribe to the ADN newsletter. That really gives the most timely up-to-date information, especially on those ongoing plans.
And then Deborah, follow up to an earlier question. Desiree is asking if there is a minimum revenue amount needed to qualify for the program.
Let me answer that question, Deborah, if it's okay with you.
Yes.
You know, I want to answer this in a context. I think that context matters. Whenever we put a number in any Black-led organization, it becomes a missed opportunity, because many Black entrepreneurs fund their startups and their ventures through family money, small bank loans and all that. So I think the best way to take a look at this is what the product is, what the stage of the service that you're providing or the work that you're doing is, and put in that number that fits, that is based on where you are today versus what we think you should be doing. Because I think comparing Black entrepreneurs to everyone else who gets a lot of seed funding early on, when they start from VCs and other angel investors, it really is not a fair system, because the system doesn't really, hasn't created an equitable space for us. So I would say that instead of putting a number, I would rather you tell us where you are when you fill up the application, and then the reviewers, we have objective reviewing system. I don't participate in it. None of us do. We only just observe whatever comes, but we have a committee. You can take a look at it on the website. We have a program advisory committee that objectively looks at the application, and we also have external reviewers. And then we hear what they have to say and compare it, and do an interview to the top 15 to 16 in order for us to get the top 10. So I would not want to put any specific amount of money. I refuse to do that, and it could be just my bias, but I don't think it's fair to put a number in our ideas and enterprises simply because this system did not allow us to have an equitable space in terms of funding. So I hope that answers some of your questions. It's not complete, but it is really what we have right now. And until I see a fair and equitable funding system to Black startups and Black entrepreneurs, I don't think it is fair to put the number. To say that you have to have $1 million venture really defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do, at least from the ADN side. I hope that answers. So thanks, Deborah.
Thank you, Almaz.
And I believe this may have been addressed earlier, but Deborah, could you speak about African-based or headquartered businesses and the eligibility for the ABLE program?
Thank you. So if you are an African entrepreneur or you are leading an African-based business, we would like to invite you to apply for our other accelerator program, which is titled The Builders of Africa's Future. At ADN, we recognize that, these are often, different in terms of the curriculum that we have, because ABLE really focuses on US-based Black entrepreneurs, so that wouldn't necessarily be a fit. But Builders of Africa's Future does provide relevant content and training provided by the African Management Institute. So that application, please keep a lookout. We will share more information on that sometime in the late fall.
And I think that catches us up with questions. Megan, let me know if I've overlooked a question.
No, I think that addresses it all, Heather.
Okay, and if you have more, please feel free to submit them or put them in the chat. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Right. Also, please note our email addresses are right up there on the screen, so feel free to note those down in case you would like to follow up. Right.
And I don't see any further questions, Deborah, but feel free if there are any others, you can always have the time to ask.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much to the team. Heather and Megan and Almaz, would you like to share any closing remarks?
Deborah, thank you. No, this is fantastic. And Heather, really thank you for your consult and for your commitment and what we're doing jointly. Again, this is a community effort. We all need to be a part of it. but I wanted to say thank you to the participants, to Deborah, Megan, our team here. We are looking forward to having you be part of this movement, and it will not end here. And we would love to do more than I kept responding to your messages because I love your questions. I love these questions because they help us to think through. Yes, so some of the things I want to address before you go is, yeah, we are doing for-profit only, but the goal is to do social enterprises and for-profit organizations at least twice a year, one of each every year. But that always depends on the funding that we raise. And I wanted to say that, to emphasize that we don't promise everything, but we do everything we can to be honest to our word and be able to work with all of you. I do want to encourage you to please help us share with HBCUs that you are probably affiliated with, other Black entrepreneurs that you may know in the country that they are looking for something like this. Remember, you don't pay, the entrepreneurs do not pay for the program training. We pay for it, we raise the money for it. We work very hard to raise funds to also support the entrepreneurs, or even if anything, to give them a stipend for the time they spend with us doing the training. There's a wonderful opportunity. We don't have all the answer, but at least we can begin somewhere. And please share the application with your network. Thank you, Deborah.
All right, thank you so much. We are going to close the webinar soon, and we will be sharing the recording. So if you're present today, fantastic. But if you know people who would like to watch the recap, we will be sharing it with all of you, all of the Regis friends, and we will be sharing it on our ADN social media and newsletter. Thank you all, and have a wonderful rest of your day.